The area where Warrick County is presently nestled along the Ohio River has a long history, even predating the Mississippian Angel Mound settlement, where, beginning around 1000 AD, Mississippian Native Americans built structures and worked with the fertile land until abandoning the area around 1400 AD, before European settlers even landed in the New World. American explorers did not settle the area until the early 1800s.
Hello, I'm Tom Bodkin. Welcome to the Newburgh Museum. The town of Newburgh was settled in 1803. There were two towns created here. One was called Sprinklesburg, the other was called Mount Prospect. In 1837, the Indiana General Assembly merged the two into what we now know as Newburgh.
Warrick County was named for Captain Jacob Warrick, an Indiana militia company commander killed in the Battle of Tippecanoe in 1811. The area had a period of great economic growth. In 1860, recognizing the potential for agribusiness, John Keebler purchased a home in Newburgh and developed 15 acres of grapes used to make wine, a butcher shop for the hogs he raised, and a greenhouse where he grew flowers to sell.
Keebler's Gardens was a party place, and people would come from Evansville in the two traction lines that came here.
Today, that agribusiness tradition continues in Warrick County. Overlooking the Ohio River in downtown Newburgh, the farmers market is a perfect place to start a summer day. On Saturday mornings starting in June, this quiet block is bustling with activity.
We have lots of vendors, traditional vendors with produce. We have a few people with eggs. We have handmade soaps. We actually have one person that they hand milk the goats and make the soap out of goat milk. So that's really cool. And then we have artisans as well. We have handmade cutting boards, handmade spoons, all sorts of things that you could use while you're cooking. So we have a full market. We've been very lucky. Our market has kind of gained in popularity because we've added events like these ladies knitting behind me, and it's really helped bring out more customers.
It's always a great time. There's something every week. The market changes every week as new produce comes on, and we've got music acts and different community organizations that come in and do some presentations and workshops and things like that. So there's something new at the market every week. So it's not just a one-time shop.
This is our first year for any farmers market, and we chose Newburgh just because of the size of Newburgh. And I tell you, the people are fantastic here.
The Newburgh Farmers Market started by just a gentleman walking into the historic Newburgh offices and saying, hey, let's do a farmers market. Here we are 6 years later with an absolutely awesome farmers market.
Everybody wants to get involved because it's a great time. I have vendors that just talk about, it's like family every Saturday morning. You just come and chit-chat and you get to visit with your clientele and they get to know you. And that's a relationship that sometimes is really strong, and people appreciate that. They want to know where their food comes from and how it's grown and really know that vendor.
Money that you give to these vendors actually goes to their families. It doesn't go to a big business. It doesn't go to a big corporation. It helps them feed their families. So really buying from these vendors is great for the community.
Not only has our market itself developed, our volunteer base has increased, and there's also a much wider acknowledgement that we need to eat local.
I grow microgreens here, and these are small little plants that I grow for about 10 days before I harvest, instead of growing to a full-size plant. And when they're harvested that young, they're actually a lot more nutritional, and they have a lot more flavor as well. I think a lot of people really like being here. We get a lot of people that just like to walk by and see the sights and talk, and it's a social event, really.
We encourage you to come down. We're open 7:30 to noon every Saturday from June to October. We encourage everybody to come from all over and visit us. There's a lot of great things that Warrick County has to offer, and the Warrick County markets are just two of them.
The Little Warrick County Farmers Market started approximately 9 years ago, and we were set up at the library, and the city had asked us if we would move more up toward the square to be more involved with the community efforts of Boonville. So last year we did such, and through some money, donations, and some hard work of the community, we ended up with this beautiful pavilion.
Last year we did it before we opened our bakery to kind of get us going, kind of get the word out that we were opening a bakery. And we're doing it again this year because we feel like it's important to be part of the community. We meet a lot of people through here. It's just a good way to be out there in the community to see what's going on.
I sell zucchini, squash, tomatoes, potatoes, cabbage, all vegetables I grow in my garden, and I do sell eggs.
I do lotions, body butters, candles, and I do a lot of t-shirts and then custom signs, and I also do water bottles, and then I do soaps, but I don't make the soaps personally, but everything else I do make from scratch.
Usually we have anywhere between 12 to 16 vendors, and it's a smaller market. We are very particular. We try to run just the old-fashioned type farmers market, produce, home-baked goods, and locally made crafts. We do have several artisans that join our market.
I love the market here. I feel like I've really seen it grow. I mean, even just in 1 year, being a part of it last year. And I just love the things that we have, things to offer. There's a lot of fresh vegetables and fruits. We have a lot of homemade jams. We have a lot of creative people, and you get to see their different art that they get to make, and you get to come purchase that. So I love it.
You know what you're getting, and you know how it's raised, and you know how it's handled, and it's better.
It's just a fun little market, and we just want to promote the community and our local growers. That's what we try to do.
Well, the Wine, Art, and Jazz Festival is our biggest event all year long. Friday night starts with the Grapes on the Grass soiree. That's where our guests have an opportunity to judge the wines. And we usually have right around 20 different restaurants that donate food for you to taste and enjoy. And then we have artists there, you know, doing their thing as well. And then nonstop jazz all night long. Then Saturday, that's more of a kick up your heels, more casual day, and just a lot of fun. There's usually 5 or 6 restaurants selling their food. We have around 17, 18 wineries that come, and then again, jazz from the beginning at noon all the way to the end at 9 o'clock at night.
It's my main antique show I go to. I hit a lot of shows around Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois, and into Kentucky, but this is where really my roots are. I started coming here in the late 70s, and it's a lot different now than what it used to be. You know, the old guys are all gone, and I guess I'm an old guy now. But, it's just something I really love and enjoy. Like our gas engines are down in the park down there farther, hit and miss gas engines, and there's various other activities like the sawmill with the steam engines, and it's all related to what happened around the turn of the century, 1900.
That particular engine is a HEILMAN, which was made in Evansville, Indiana. And that's a pretty rare engine. You're born with it in your blood, and once you get it, you can't shake it. You know, it's kind of the same difference as golf would be to a golfer or fishing to a fisherman. This is just my little particular niche in the world.
You know, it's one of them things you have to love the stuff. I got a machine shop, I make all my own parts and stuff.
It's a labor of love of us. You know, we enjoy this kind of work, and it's just our lifestyle.
Our location for our farm is excellent because we are far enough out in the country that we're able to do and have the animals that we want to have out here for our different programs that we run. But yet we are close enough to a big city that there is enough people to draw in to do the riding lessons, to do the camps, to buy the products, to have the wonderful farmers markets that we have in the area.
Being from an ag background, I mean, I just want to keep in touch with my roots. And I feel more comfortable being out in the country, being around livestock, and rather than being like in the city life. The kids come out, I mean, they want to see the baby goats, of course. Otherwise, they really just love seeing the horses.
A lot of the parents were commenting on how this was an experience that their kids have never had before and probably wouldn't have unless they were able to come out here, that they, you know, it was totally foreign to them about how to care for animals, what all went into it. They helped us every morning with all the chores and milking the goats, and so it was something very different for them. We started in with the goat milk lotion, and then last year I started in on soap making. The goat milk is actually the same pH as our skin, so it's very gentle. It's got a lot of nutrients and vitamins that our skin needs. We have a 18-month-old son, and he actually enjoys coming out and helping us like bottle feed the babies and take care of things even as young as he is. So I can really see him as he grows up being more of a part of this.
Jim Lockery got his first taste of the honey business when he was a boy. Now he manages hives with his family and sells honey at the farmers markets in Newburgh and Boonville.
When you see a bee in your yard, that bee does not want to sting you, it wants to work. The bees you see flying around that are out working right now, at best they'll only live 6 weeks. They'll actually wear their wings out. I started out about 8 or 9 years old, about Joe's age. Following an uncle of mine around that had bees, and so off and on I've been keeping them, I guess, around 50 years. You would think in 50 years you'd have it all figured out, but it's not that way with bees.
Jim's son David helped him get back into beekeeping about 15 years ago.
I actually became allergic to them, and I got out of it, and he wanted to get a couple hives, and we got a couple hives, and he got bitten by the bug as bad as, if not worse than I did.
The Lockerys keep hives all over Warrick County that become active over the summer.
We'll get all at best probably 3 pounds out of each one of these frames. Getting ready to extract. This is a hot knife. All it does is not sharp in any way, it's just hot. And we take a frame of honey, run across the very top of it. All we're taking off is the very top of the comb. And we'll put it in the extractor. But all we're trying to really take out of it is the excess beeswax, the little pieces that may have stuck when I cut it.
Beyond harvesting and selling honey, Jim likes to share his knowledge of beekeeping with others.
It's nice to be able to talk to the consumer. You can tell them where that honey came from, what area, what plants were probably worked to produce it. Southern Indiana as a whole, I would not want to live anywhere else. We don't make the largest amount of honey, but I think we make the best in Southern Indiana.
Noticing an increase in demand in the tri-state for quality local produce, Clint and Brandy Kern moved back home from Colorado to start agricultural production on a residential lot in Newburgh.
We try to grow things that not everybody else grows in the community. We do everything organically from seed to harvest. We grow a wide range of vegetables. We're getting into some fruits, strawberries, raspberries, things of that nature. We are growing hops on a small scale right now. We've got access to a little over 2.5 acres here. I think it's like 22,000 square feet that we actually have in production, so it's just half an acre. I would say right now, roughly we pull a few hundred pounds of produce off of this every week. As we get into squash and zucchini and a lot of the heavier tomatoes and peppers and stuff like that, I would say 800 to 1,500 pounds of produce each week isn't unlikely off this small plot of land. We've just found that you can grow multiple colors of these things. It's not just cauliflower anymore. It's not just a snow pea. It's not just broccoli. It's not just a cherry tomato. It's something to have fun with and try and experiment. And that was really the whole goal, was to make food exciting again. We've got orange and white and purple cauliflower. We've got we're running those as our UE cauliflower. Another major part of what we're doing is we're going into the school systems in Warrick County and Vanderburgh County. That was a major goal of ours coming back from Colorado, back into the tri-state community, was to get this good, healthy, fresh food into the school systems. One other project we took on this year was a small CSA. We've got about 25 members to that. So for a 20-week period, they have prepaid for, basically they bought into the harvest or bought into the farm this year, and so every week they get a share of the farm. We thought it was important for people to see not only that you can have fresh food. I mean, we are right in town, and this food's going all across the tri-state area. Even as we expand and move off this property, we want this property. It's important for us to have a tie into the city and the county, because without the city and the county, we couldn't have done any of this.
We are attending the Farmers Market this weekend for Worldwide Knit and Public Day. Last year was our first year that we attended, and we probably had 20 knitters, and we'll expect maybe 20 or 30 knitters this year. We'll go down Friday after the shop closes around 5 o'clock, and we'll do all the setup and get all the yarn bombing up at that time. And then Saturday we'll be there about 9 a.m. and we've got a bunch of knitters bringing their chairs and their knitting, and we'll be knitting under the tree at the waterfront and can answer any questions and hopefully get people excited about Newburgh and about knitting. If they want to come and knit, we have classes here, and we always have a group of ladies here that are knitting. Everyone's welcome to just come and sit and knit.
I love it. I've seen different sidewalk trucks in different cities, and this was set up really, really well. And they actually gave us space to where we weren't like sitting on top of each other, which was really nice.
I think it's a great way to promote art, and art is great therapy, and I think that having a free event to let us express ourselves is an awesome way to promote the city.
It was very cool. It was actually really peaceful to be able to sit by the river and be able to draw and not think. So it was nice.
I did a human heart with a tree coming out of it.
I drew this gigantic moody looking owl, and I drew him holding a clock at 11 because 11 is the time the competition ends.
I drew aliens. The middle one I drew was the regular alien. And then the other two at the sides were either animatronics or robotic.
I am blown away by the art and the talent that we have here.
It's all amazing. There were some really great detailed pieces down there, and the kids' stuff was really great as well. I really enjoyed seeing all of it.
But this was definitely a draw. This definitely brought me into Newburgh. It was worth it.
I'm here at the farmers market doing demos, kind of featuring some of the local produce that we have here at the market, and trying to feature these guys that really work hard to make really excellent produce, and showing people how they can make it taste good and prepare it. Utilizing fresh ingredients is important, but also it's about knowing what you're putting into your body. So when you buy the produce from it, raw state, whenever you turn that into whatever you're going to eat for dinner, I mean, you know exactly what's going into it. Today we were doing a fried green tomato BLT. We were using bacon from Stonewall Farms. green tomatoes from Reams Farms, which they had just picked this morning. We were using the country loaf from Slow Rise Breads. So again, it's really about utilizing what we have here at the market. I'm cooking out here outside, so I'm not using anything that you wouldn't have inside your home. And as long as you come to the farmer's market, you'll be able to get some of the things that I was utilizing and recreate what we're making. It's good because I know that they take care of the product that they're making. I like it and it tastes good, and you know, by purchasing it from it helps him and his family. So I mean, it's a really a community type of feel.
Newburgh Celebrates Christmas is always the first weekend in December, and we pull it off, rain or shine, snow or sleet. You can come downtown and see people dressed in Victorian costume out and about shopping as they would have in the 1800s. So it's a little trip back in time. You can come down and find the elf in the shops that are participating and do all your Christmas shopping. The Night Sensations will be downtown here at in the town hall parking lot, and we'll be lighting, they'll give us a little concert, and then we will light the town hall Christmas tree.
That is really a highlight of Christmas in Boonville. It's a parade for the people. It started right after World War II. I mean, the veterans coming home, it was started for the children and for the veterans, and it has just continued and grown. It's the longest continually running Christmas parade in the state of Indiana. And we're still a parade that throws candy, and so, you know, the kids are loving it. And there's more than candy out there. They're getting stuffed animals or all sorts of things. So, along with the parade and all the decorations that are there, hopefully just really highlight Boonville for Christmas.